catching up with what she knew decades ago.
I think that sensory integration has always and continues to encounter some skepticism. And I've never been able to completely identify why that is. But when Ayres got started, she entered the medical professions as a woman in an era where women were not necessarily respected or had a PhD. And she was coming up with innovative ideas that challenged some of the existing premises that were used in psychology and certainly in occupational therapy as well. Not only that, she was creating this intervention that was pretty low tech, really. I mean, it used natural activities in the context of play that were very child-centered. And these were not consistent with the prevailing view of interventions that were much more hierarchical, top-down kind of interventions.
Especially at the very beginning, she was not well understood because she was coming up with a theory that was radically different to what people had been doing before. And every time somebody comes up with something different, that person is looked upon in a not always a positive light.
Her reaction to being rejected was severe. These institutions or people who got in her way were sources of incredible pain and frustration. Pain because they were slowing her down, and frustration because they were wrong.
She did have actually a lot of anger about things that had happened in her career. At one point she was planning to open a ceramics shop. And her attitude, well, OT can go its way and I'll go mine. And I'll open this shop. I'm really glad she didn't do that and open a ceramics shop. That would be, I mean, maybe it would have been relaxing for her, but I think the world would have lost out.
When you view just the sheer number of children, statistically, that are born every year with sensory integration issues whose lives could be made immeasurably better, and here you have these institutions that are slowing down these children getting help, and the frustrations their parents are feeling, their impacts on society. I mean, it's not easy being a pioneer.
When she was doing the original tests that she put together, the Southern California sensory integration tests, she had, I believe, one research assistant to help her with all the data gathering and everything. And then when I met her in '82, I just remember her just being amazed at the number of people that wanted to help her. I think it was really wonderful for her to be able to have that before she died.
There's so many times that I think, I wish Dr. Ayres could see this. I was just at a big autism conference with the top people in medicine. They were all physicians. They were the top people in the country from genetics and epidemiology, and they all had something positive to say about sensory integration.
This is really the most amazing thing about what she had to offer, because we literally go around the world and we're changing the way people look at children. So they're not treated as behavior problems. And also, when the therapists learn these methods, everybody's happier. The therapists are happier, the children are happier, and they get better.
So many of us focus on the stars we can see. And what Jean had a gift for doing, she said, now you see, it's easy to see the bright star. Now just move your eyes off to the side and suddenly open up out of the side of your eyes were the less bright stars. And she said, those are the interesting ones. And that's really where she spent her time, was in the realm of the unknown. And as others have told you, then how do you as a scientist then prove or disprove the theory of what you think you've just seen out of the corner of your eye?
I think it was the last time that she presented to the faculty who was teaching sensory integration. And what was interesting, she presented the results of the SIP, and the presentation must have gone for maybe 2-3 hours. And during that time, it was like she was leaving a legacy. I think she mentioned every person in that room and left something for them to do.
I feel the future for the general area of sensory integration is going to be quite fruitful. You can see how it strikes a note in many fields throughout the country, and not just this country, but in other countries as well. one can look at where research money is going, and you see a lot of it going to basic neurobiological research. It's because of the immense amount of information on the brain that's coming out that enables the whole area of sensory integration to develop. At the same time, there is an increasing number of individuals with very minimal irregularities in the nervous system that are going to have to be taken care of. Until we learn how to prevent that, we're going to have to think mostly in terms of amelioration. So I think there's a tremendous opportunity for those who are willing to pitch in and dig to get the information and have a really fascinating time and a very rewarding time in terms of being able to help individuals who need that help.
At the end of her life, they're working so hard to finish and still maintaining her connection with what really mattered. What really mattered to her were the children. And it wasn't about, you know, the Jean Ayres name or legacy. She just really wanted to help children and help families.
She would say is her greatest accomplishment is any child she helped. And quite frankly, she would extend that to any parent who better understood their child.
I think what she was a humanitarian. I think that she was most concerned about people feeling okay in their skin, whether it was an adult or a child.
She was asked why she endured so much, why she put so much work into this, why do you do this? And she said, for the children. And that was it.
How can you lead a completely meaningful life? You discover your passion, whatever it might be, and you focus on that passion. What effect does that have on you, and more importantly, what effect can that have on reshaping the world? And it would really be that she squeezed every moment of potential out of her life.
When she told me a year before that she had cancer, she said, I want to finish the SIPT. So on that last time when I saw her, I said, did you finish the SIPT? And she said, yes, basically it was finished as much as she felt.